Hi and welcome back to the latest Steve's Amateur Garage video. Great to have you along. Today we're going to be working on the Ferrari 360 and we are going to look at a common problem of broken leather straps. Of course, it's not just the 360 that suffers from this. It'll be the 355, the 348, 458 and cars that are sort of 10 to 20 years old. They all seem to have the same broken strap issue. Let's go. And I'd just like to say a really big thank you to everybody who subscribed and liked the videos so far. Really appreciate it. Thank you. So the straps we are looking at in particular today are from the front of a Ferrari 360, and it's the two straps that hold the tyre inflation kit and the one strap that goes round the tool case. They're all located in the front trunk, and over a period of time, basically, they just bounce up and down as the car moves along, and sooner or later, you will find that the strap splits either across the back there or across here, where it joins to the bodywork. It tends to happen on all of them, depending on the mileage that they've done, but it seems to be a very common issue. So when I purchased my Ferrari about 5 or 6 years ago now, it had 70,000 odd miles on the clock, and yep, all the straps had split off just where they join through the rivets at the end there. They're just worn right through, purely due to the bouncing and movement that goes on in the front there. So the first thing I did was look into having some sets remade, which we did. A little bit of research on the leather that was used. The colour of the leather was probably the hardest thing to try and match. We got as close as we possibly could. The buckles and also the rivets that used to fix them into place, which I'll be showing you how to do that in a minute. But yes, we've had the sets remade, so this video is both hopefully an informative an educational video for you, but also a self-promotional video because you can purchase these straps from my site on eBay. So with the inflation kit removed and the tool case removed, you can see that the straps are simply riveted to the boot liner or the trunk liner with a little metal plate over the top of them, and there's also a plate on the opposite side to hold it all in place. So what you need to do to get good access to that is to effectively remove the lining of the trunk. And the first step would be just to lift up the rubber seal all the way around. Just pull it upwards and take it completely out the way. And the first strap to remove is this top one that goes over the tool case, and it's held in place by a couple of small Allen headed machine screws. And there's the first strap on the bench, and you can see the colour difference that's changed over the years from the new one to an original one. And just make a note of the little plate, just has a lip on the end there, just sits over the end, and those two machine screws go through it and into a couple of T-nuts into the bodywork. Then we can start removing the, again, Allen headed fixings just from this front section, as this seems to be the first part that needs to come out the way. And once they're out the way, we can just pull this up, just whittle it past the latch, and there's just a couple of little push-in connectors at the side there. They just pop straight out. And the next section to get out the way is the back section, because it actually sits over the side sections, both sides. Looks like 10 Allen headed connectors. Let's get them out the way and we should be able to just lift that straight forward. And just a note, the 10 connectors that hold the back panel into place are really twice as long as the side ones. Okay, slight mistake, nothing drastic, but it looks like this side panel should have been the one I took off first, as it sits over the top of the back panel. We'll get it out the way. Yep, and now the side panel is out the way, you can see there's a couple of extra connectors that you actually couldn't see while that panel was in place. So we'll remove those and see if we can get the back panel out the way. Okay, just one sitting on the top there, which I'd forgotten to get out of the way. We'll remove that and then the back panel should just lift out. Okay, back panel is halfway out. It sort of gets stuck behind the wire cable here, but a little bit of a whittle and upward motion seems to be taking it out the way. That's the back panel removed, and there is just a small side panel that all the other fixings basically hold into place, and this one just sits over the top of the floor panel, which we will have to get out. It has the connector for the light in it, so I'm not going to remove it. It's loose enough. We can whittle hopefully the base out of the way with that in place. We've taken out all the bolts for the other side panel. Just forgot one, which is hiding right underneath the middle there. We'll get that out, and again we should be able to lift that out of the way and hopefully remove the floor panel with that effectively in place, because the battery cut-off switch is going to hold it in place there. So I don't want to move that. We'll leave it where it is and hopefully just work around it. When you come to actually remove the base section, it's fairly flexible. You can get your fingers behind it, pull it out from the corners, and it'll lift up. But what I forgot is these two rivets that hold the strap for your tool case in place are actually riveted through the base section and into the metal plate that's underneath. So I've had to remove the plastic undershield, front guard, that's out the way. And if you have a look under here, so here we are underneath the front of the car. I say plastic undershield removed, and there's the two rivets that hold that final strap into place, and they're just riveted straight through the metal plate underneath there. They would have to be drilled out from above. So just a tip, before you start drilling out the two rivets here, I would mask up around here and put some newspaper down, because once you start drilling, the shards of metal will fly off, and they're like little hooks, and they will embed themselves in the carpet. And if you don't mask them up and hoover them up as you go, then you'll spend half an hour digging small pieces of metal out your carpet, and it's a bit of a nuisance. So once you have the panel out and on your bench, you've got easy access to the rivets, and you can see the metal plate that goes underneath them. Don't forget to put that back into place before riveting it down, but very easy to drill the rivets out, and as I say, mask up the area first, otherwise you'll get your little shards of metal stuck in the carpet. That's a nuisance. And there's the plate on the top. So just make a note before you start drilling of where the plates are, so you can easily put them back into place. So actually riveting the straps back into place is relatively straightforward. I use a fairly basic hand riveter, and the kit of straps comes with the right amount of rivets plus a couple of spurs just in case. And the best colour match we could get, we probably got this about 5 years ago, is that one, and it's very close to the original colour. We can't get that leather at the moment, so we're having to supply it in a slightly lighter shade. It's probably 3 shades lighter. But with an application of dark tan boot polish, it will tone this down and give it an orangey look, and it won't be far off the original colour, bearing in mind that every set of straps will be a different colour because they will have all changed colour over the last 20 odd years. So now it's just the reverse process of putting the front panels back in the boot in the reverse order. So while the front under panel's off, it's a good time to just have a little look underneath and check everything's all right. And also, while I've got good access to this lock and release mechanism, I'll give that a good spray with some lubricant. Yes, everything's looking pretty dry and pretty good. Time to put the panel back on. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it informative. And if you have, please like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell because we've got plenty more exciting videos coming soon, both on the camper van, the MGs, the E-Types, and the Ferrari. I'll see you for the next one. You all take care. Bye for now.